This is a quick little video to discuss information that will be learned throughout this course. The title of this course is Math 1425 Elementary Statistics. What you see here is a picture of the textbook that will be used in this course, titled Elementary Statistics, the 5th edition using the TI-83 84 Plus calculator. As a student, you do not need to purchase a physical copy of the textbook. You can, however, if you choose to. What each student needs to purchase is a Pearson access code or a MyStatLab access code to gain access through Pearson, which is where your homework assignments and your exams will be found. Let's take a moment to discuss some of the content that will be used or learned throughout this course. Switching over, here's kind of a breakdown of the different sections and the content that you will learn throughout this course. First, beginning with Chapter 1, it is an introduction to statistics, discussing important terminology that will be used throughout the course. Chapter 2, we begin exploring data with tables and graphs. Frequency distributions are used for organizing and summarizing data. Histograms are used to give us good visuals of data sets. Moving on to Chapter 3, we get into describing, exploring, and comparing data. First, we look at measures of center. Different types of measures of center include mean, median, mode, and mid-range. Here is the first place we really will focus on using the TI-83 84 calculator, which is a requirement for this course. We will be given data sets and look at calculating different measures of center and understanding and interpreting these values. Moving on to measures of variation. Measures of variation, once again, we will also be using the TI-83 84 calculator, but different types of measures of variation that we will be looking at include standard deviation, which is one of the most important types of measures of variation that we will look at in this course. 3 measures of relative standing. We will look at z-scores, we will look at quartiles, we will look at percentiles in terms of location. And then we will have Test 1, which will cover Chapters 1, 2, and 3. Chapter 4 and 5 deal with probability. We will begin with basic concepts of probability, being able to calculate and interpret probability. Then we will move on to the addition and multiplication rule. In Chapter 5, we begin talking about probability distributions. And from there, we move on to binomial probability distributions, which is a specific type of probability distribution. Then we have Test 2, which covers Chapters 4 and 5. And then moving on, Chapter 6 deals with the normal distribution. First, we start off with the standard normal distribution. Then from there, we move on to the non-standard normal distribution, which is where all of our applications occur. Then we discuss the wonderful central limit theorem in 6.4. And then Chapter 7 deals with estimating population parameters. Right? First, we start off with the population proportion, trying to estimate that value, and then the population mean. Then we have Test 3, which covers Chapter 6 and 7. Then this entire course is building up to the last thing we cover in Chapter 8, which is hypothesis testing. We start off with the basics of it. Then we move into actually testing a proportion and a claim about a mean. And lastly, the most important part of the course is the final exam, which covers all the content learned throughout the course, starting in Chapter 1, going all the way up to Chapter 8. Here's a video discussing everything you'll learn in this course. Good luck.